This is Danny Gilfillan for Seconds Out. We're at Bolton Wanderers Stadium at Lyndon Arthur versus Brian Suarez for the IBO World Light Heavyweight title. It's a pleasure to be joined by Kalle Sauerland. Kalle, I was about to say we're here, but we got here last time and we had a very last minute hiccup. But touch wood, Lyndon Arthur is going to get a shot at the IBO World title. How much are you looking forward to Friday night?
Yeah, I mean it's a massive week for us as a team. You know, we've got Lyndon here on Friday night. Pick and fight against Suarez for the vacant IBO World Championship light heavy, and then obviously on Saturday night we've got Eubank Jr aiming to seek revenge on Liam Smith. So, you know, the special thing about Friday is that what happens live on free-to-air, live on Channel 5. You know, we had the young guys up here as well. You know, Ben Marksby, Cody Smith. You've got Sam Antwi, Mason Cartwright for the British belt. So it's a stacked card. I've just named a few of them there. So I'm really, really excited for a great weekend of boxing. You know.
With these undefeated, or not undefeated, but big punching on paper records from South America, they tend to either go one or two ways.
You don't know. And what I would say is, recently, look, we've had a few. You know, it wasn't South America, it was Mexican, but you know, Robles against McGregor, an absolute cracker IBO title last time out. We're a fantastic matchmaker in South America, so we're using a lot on the undercards as well, and they're tough fights. You know, some of the kids on the undercard, they're really being made to work for their money, and I think that will benefit them down the road. It's you know, it's different to, you know, you want to give them a few fights in the build up where they know they can maybe get a stoppage, you know, an easier fight. You can't just match kids that way, but the South Americans are going, and Suarez, if you look at it, was 17 knockouts in 18 fights. So yeah, you know, Lyndon. Either way, Lyndon's gonna have to shine on Friday night, live on Channel 5. But that's what's exciting. You know, that's what's exciting, and we all also know, like I said, you know, Lyndon was sitting next to me. I said, you know, I hope he starts. You know, not in the fourth or fifth round. I hope he comes out, because when Lyndon is focusing on fire, for me, I'm not joking. I think he beats any light heavy, and that includes the big names. He's fantastic talent, and he's only not there yet because he has those sort of lapses in concentration, and that's something that I'm sure Pat's been working a lot on with, and you know, whatever it takes, Red Bull, firecrackers, you know. We've got to get him out the box early.
You described the IBO belt as a bargaining chip. What do you think, if Lyndon does come through on Friday night, you can bargain for with that belt?
You know, look, the belts, the number one in the division is Beterbiev. We don't need to talk long about it. That's for me, it's very clear. But you know, when you have an IBO forming the world title, you know, you're at the table as a world champ, you know, and you know, just have a look at who's carried it before. I don't know, from Roy Jones to the Klitschko's, Golovkin, just loads. But it's, you know, it's become a credible form of the world title. I'd say more than some secondary other world titles, and you know, once you've got that, you know, 23 years in the game of promoting, I can tell you now, it you know, flips the conversation a little bit, doesn't it? Because suddenly it's not just, I don't know, Lyndon against Boazzi for the Mickey Mouse, whatever it is. It's suddenly it's got something that you could crown it with that might not interest some of the hardcore fans directly, but that's what the networks will pay for, and that's what makes big fights get done. It's as simple as that.
As you alluded to at the start of the interview, it's a busy weekend for you. Your man Chris Eubank Jr. in there again.
Williams workout straight over here. Then I go back. I'm back here again tomorrow morning for the weigh-in. Then I'm back over there for the press conference. Then I'm back here for the fight. No, I'm back in Manchester for the weigh-in, and then I'm back here for the fight, and then back to Manchester for the Eubank fight on Saturday. So yeah, it's an interesting week.
Well, I'm working both as well, so I can empathise with you.
Jump in the car with me, no problem.
I'll just come straight to it. What does your man Eubank Jr have to do to ensure it's revenge and not repeat at the Manchester Arena?
Now, again, the hardcore probably going to slate me for this. He was winning the fight. You know, that third round he was in control. So you could go down the path of do the same thing again, and you know the lightning's not going to strike from the gods this time. And you know, I don't buy that. I wouldn't do that. I'd go in and do what Eubank does best: put it on him. You know, stand close, throw punches in bunches. Exactly what Eubank does. You know, a lot of punch volume. And, you know, but on the other hand, you make an argument for going for that style in round 3 where he had Smith on the back foot. I'm not going to say he had him in trouble, but he had him on the back foot. And that was boxing off that low jab. So it's either or, isn't it? Even if I did know the game plan, which I don't, you go with one of those two. I would tend to go into what Eubank does best and has always done, and that's throw a lot of punches.
What do you make of the link-up? What do you make of the link-up with Brian McIntyre? Obviously had that huge win with Terence Crawford against Errol Spence Jr, but not had a lot of time to work with Chris. How do you see that improving his chances?
Come on, let's be serious. He's 35 years old. He doesn't need a trainer who's going to come in and teach him a whole new style of training and start boxing when he's 38. No. What it does is, and this is where people miss the point when they say, oh, he's joined too late and stuff like that. Listen, Junior's never had a star where he's had a traditional boxing coach. Yeah, it's just the way it is, and people like that or they don't like that is what it is. What it does is it gives Junior a team around him, which he's never had before. He had a very short spell with Adam Booth many moons ago, and the whole boxing Booth setup, which is a fantastic one. But he's now in with a team again, but really for the first time at this stage, the pinnacle of his career, and I think it gives him that feel of a traditional setup. You know, Roy, absolute legend, but as a trainer works very much alone, and as a team, but it's a different setup, and this will give Chris a team to call on, I guess. That's what I think it adds. And again, it's all about strategies for fights, and you know, obviously we'll see on Saturday, and I'm confident it works.
Before we move on from the big fight on Saturday night, what is Kalle Sauerland's final prediction?
I'm saying Lyndon on Friday, late stoppage, and I'm saying Junior point.
For those of you placing the bet, there you go.
That will change, by the way. Ask me again tomorrow, and I guarantee you it will change. Not the end winners, but I'll go between a few things.
Yeah, moving on, Kalle, the biggest talking point.
It's just changed already. I'll come back to you on that one tomorrow.
The biggest talking point in boxing at the minute seems to be this Usyk Dubois. Was it low? Was it not? Come straight to it. Do you think Daniel Dubois was hard done by, or was it a legitimate low blow? I've seen all different descriptions of the law and this, that, and the other, and naval and all these things brought into it. I never even knew what a naval was.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's all sorts, and I guess maybe we should all read up on the rules again. But this will sound, for someone who doesn't know boxing, will sound really odd, but it's discretion, isn't it? It's the discretion of the referee for me. You know, he'll hopefully have known where that belt is. Because some people wear it high and the refs always putting it down. Others like to put it right down. But that's not... And we can look at all the pictures and all the different camera angles and all the other things. The punch is definitely thrown from low. Now, that's not against the rules, by the way. Throw low punches and uppercuts are coming from below. What's it definitely done is it's moved the cup.
Yeah.
And the second it moves the cup, even if it ends up in a sort of body punch, yeah, or low body punch, it's a legal body punch, it still moved that cup, and that gives that referee the right to call it a low blow. It's just the way it is, and I'm sure Team Dubois won't like to hear that, but that's it's my opinion, and we all know what opinions are. So, but yeah, I think people need to look a little bit around more about Dubois' performance, because I thought, I mean, at the end he didn't quit. He was forced to quit, or not quit, but he was taken out very well by Usyk, must say. But he also showed that he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
Go back to the drawing board, I mean, he's going to be, they'll work on that. John Charles is a very good trainer, very solid trainer, and he's been around the game for donkeys, and I've got to say, he really put himself on the heavyweight map, Yes, he didn't get a decision that, some would argue could have gone for him. At the same time, how would have Usyk reacted?
The rest starts counting.
Yeah. So there's lots of ifs and buts and whens and hows and should-haves, could-haves, but ultimately he's planted his map out there. And let's not forget, it wasn't that long ago, where we had the Joyce fight and everyone wrote him totally off as a quitter and this, that and the other. So it's a remarkable turnaround for a young man. Well done.
I'm sure you were watching the fight very closely as your man. Is he going to be next, Kalle? Do you know what I mean?
He's next. We received the letters weeks ago already that they both had to win their fights, and then it's the mandatory next. So that's already done. It's like people are talking about this, that, and the other. That's what's in place. So we go through the IBF process now. But that letter was sent formally to us by the president. So the fight is on. So when we put out on Saturday night, the fight's on, that's what it is. The fight is on, and we were told that 3-4 weeks ago in writing to both teams. So everyone knows the fight's on.
Very last thing I want to ask you about, Kalle. The last press conference you were involved in was a bit more lively than this one today. Just a quick reflection on that for us.
Yeah, reflection. Well, I mean, how do you reflect on having, sort of tables thrown around, cake thrown at the same time, people trying to kick off left and right? I dropped my watch, my phone, trying to stop John Fury from stamping on my watch. Only joking. Didn't mean to do that. It was just madness. Misfits, misfits. But hey, joking aside, the tickets sold out in minutes. We had a pre-sale where I don't know why we actually went on sale, and quite interesting. People always talk about the touts have bought this and the touts bought that. Well, the pre-sale was limited to 4 seats on the pre-sale, so you had to sign up as a fan. Now I don't know, maybe some people signed up a couple of times. I've got no idea, but it was done in a very fair way, and actually we were pretty much sold out before we went on sale, which is a great place to be as a promoter. That event will break British pay-per-view history. End of.
Kalle Sauerland, thanks so much for your time. See you through the week.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.